Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So, I didn't realize these are out of actual sequence. The way they're sorted is by name, but you can see it's 1, and then I had done 3. I had skipped 2. So I'm going to go ahead and go down here, and this is a bit longer, but it just says a calm, cloudy day in Kansas awaits you. This will be an event-free, non-stop full run from Kansas City to Topeka. Hi engineer, we've just been given permission to proceed onto the Kansas subdivision. We'll be doing a full run over the line to Topeka this afternoon. You'll need to change some switches before you can leave the yard. Right, so I'm literally going to stop at the Topeka yard siding all the way down. Alright, so I need to change some switches before I leave the yard. I see. There we go. So that'll get us there. I think that will do it. And then, yeah, it gets us on the mainline track. But that should be it. So, 65, almost 66 miles. Let's take a peek. Can't really tell. It's just long. Let me hop out. Oh yeah, we've got 3 engines. So we're definitely going a ways here. Slows down pretty quickly after I turn things off, but yeah, other than that switch, like it said, it should be pretty easy. It's pretty noisy in here, I'll tell you that, compared to the engines we were using around the yard. This is a much larger beast, but I'm sure this is also a much stronger beast, which might be the situation there. So that's the kind of cars we've got back there, where it looks like double stacked containers on top of these flatbeds. Don't know exactly what they're called, but so looks like a lot of these move around on this line here, but that would make some sense. Alright, so it's just giving me a little bit of a warning, just to be careful. Or no, I guess it's just a blinking white. I thought it was a blinking yellow, but it's the switch indicator that I'm seeing. But the light's green there, so... And that next one's an automatic switch, so... it knows where it wants to take me. And it's gonna have us run straight. Yeah. So go a little quicker here. But a little bit longer of a scenario. Looks like it might be an hour and a half before we... So that's just the red indicator of the signal. Let me just make sure. Center player. Yeah, everything's good, so. Alright. Move along a bit. But it this point, I think I'm past where I can manually switch. I think now we're on the automated part of the line. So it is now in control of wherever it's sending me. But yeah, this is a good long train. So it's what I'd expect here in the Midwest US for certain. Alright, heading over there. We've got a yellow indicator, so obviously we'll be careful. But I think that just means we're gonna turn for that little bit. We can't go straight, or maybe we can go straight, but we can't move over yet. It's kind of a messed up radio transmission. I don't know what that was saying. Alright. But I think this is where it moves me over to the main line, so... yeah, because it looks like we're heading over. At least there isn't too much radio traffic in the background. Alright, I think this gets us on the main line. Mainline track 2, as it says, so... and then it's just really the question of, do I continue on or not, without slowing down in other areas. But this will be, I guess, you know, the run. So it looks like I see a maximum speed sticker up there, maximum speed 70. So I assume we're not going to be able to go faster than that anywhere. Alright, so should be getting to the point here. Well, it's going to be a little while because of our length, but once we get out of the yard here, we'll be able to move along a bit. Speed up a little bit because, again, we've got a lengthy way. But on the main line here, I'm trying to figure out, I'm thinking if you're on the main line going through here, although I guess we couldn't be, because the way this is modeled, we have the yard right away. But I would imagine we wouldn't have to go 15. We'd probably be able to go down this line at 40. So anything behind us is definitely being impacted by this, by us crawling along a little bit here. I keep hoping that it's the last time I have to goose it along, but I don't think so. So I think this is still going to fall because we've still got 10, 12 cars that we've got to get moving. But after that, hopefully it's pretty straightforward, because I would imagine they keep the line moving pretty consistently, and then it's just a matter of not going too fast. And once again, I think those overlaps are going to be 30 miles an hour, a half a mile out. But yeah, we're gonna goose this along a bit. We'll see. It's really close. I don't want to push it, but I think I can now go. There we go. Alright. So, now am I supposed to stop here? I think we are, so this could be bad. Because I think they're coming along here. Problem is, I can't really tell. Are they coming or are they waiting? Let me look here. I guess they're waiting for us. Okay. It's a big headlight, and it was very confusing. Alright, so... yeah, those signals are not clear. I mean, yeah, it's... I guess red on this line, but the yellow, I guess, gives us the indicator that we can go forward to that point, and then move over. Because I thought it was coming and then maybe moving over to that siding. So, just not sure. Because again, I think I can only be at 30 when we move over to the other side. But again, definitely very powerful engine, and the locomotive is got some noise to it. So yeah, so it's going to be this switch here that's going to let us move over onto the track we need to be on. Would seem if they had been able to move us over earlier, we wouldn't have to worry about this, but they're kind of stopped right at the signal. I don't think I'm going to be able to stick with this as far as not decelerating again, because I don't think we're going to get, you know, to this point before I'm at 30, since I'm basically there now. So drop this down. I mean, this should go quicker than obviously when we were going at 15, so that should help. It's a pretty short train the other way. A little bit of a stream or a river there next to us on the right. I'm assuming we'll have some towns we'll get through here on the way in 60 miles, but who knows, this could run in quiet spaces the whole time, although obviously I would think Topeka's gonna be kind of busy, but so would Kansas City, so alright, 5-6 cars left, and then I think we'll be able to go 60. Go. So we'll just have to see how this all comes together. So get myself to about 40 before I really do much more. Just not sure with the power and the wheel spin. Maybe because we are flat, it's a little bit easier. And I'm hoping we just stay on main lines the whole way, but you know, now we've got 62 miles. I'm sure we're gonna have to slow down for several miles before we hit the Topeka yard too. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one for me because I don't know that I've ever stopped a train that's this long. So if I take a look here and we go back, alright, so we've got helpers back here too. So this is the back end, that's the front. So just a lot of the same thing in between. Alright. So I think at this point we can really turn this up and open up the throttle. So we're certainly not going to hit 70. We're starting to at least go along with the cars next to us, you can see. We're starting to outpace them. But looks like 4 tracks, but some of those I'm sure are just to go and pick up the loads off to the side here as all the sidings run off. But yeah, we'll probably not quite be at 50 before we arrive at this space, or at the increased speed. Either way, we're going to be safe. So, a little over 50, but if we had to be at 50, I think we would have made it without any speeding penalty. So definitely opportunities here to, you know, drop things off, pick things up. Now the challenge is going to be if we have to stop or something's going on, how do we get enough warning? But our max speed, as we saw, is 70, so we're not going to want to go any faster. So we're green here, just no switching. Because obviously stuff's coming down the other line. So I'm guessing we can't switch over for a bit because now the tracks are coming closer together. We could probably still transition, but so it'll be interesting because some of the other scenarios I've already done, I did have another yard here that was like 6 miles down the road at Miller, I think. So we should be just going straight through that. So we're quite a ways below grade from the road next to us. I'm trying to figure out, is that an interstate? Because that looks like that looks like an interstate highway sign. Or like an exit sign at least. So I think we've got another train obviously coming the other way. And yeah, here's I think this might be the Miller yard that we pulled over. So actually he's not coming the other way, he's just waiting there in the yard. But yeah, I think 2 tracks over was where we had stopped in scenario 3 that I acknowledged that I did ahead of time. So I think anything past this point is new for me. But we're getting up there, 64. But yeah, we've been accelerating now for 5 miles almost. So definitely gives me an appreciation. Whoa. Speaking of appreciation, now we've got to be down to 60, so hopefully I might not need to slow down. I probably do, so let me not take any chances. Oh, okay. The brakes work nice and quick. That's good. They're not super quick, but they're quick enough. Of course, I was going to say now to get up to 60. But now I've lived and learned. So I wonder if that's just because of the turn coming up, or what the 60 mile an hour is for. But yeah, there's no marker on the side or anything to tell me this. So, good long train here going the other way. But yeah, I don't think I've had anything, well, I know I haven't had anything where I've just had like 60 plus miles, and that was what I was doing, and you know, there were always checkpoints on the way. So we'll see. At the way this was accelerating, this may still be a... no, I'll probably hit 60 before I get through it. I was beginning to wonder if I would just be able to keep going, but I don't think so. I wonder if I can like leave it at 13 though, and if there's something that'll kind of keep me moving. And keep me from slowing down further. Let's see, I think 25 is probably going to speed me up. But maybe we finally have a large enough train that it will just keep it there. Alright, 38's gotta be too much, I would think. Yeah, well, we are speeding up, but at this point, this might work, because we're gonna be in the 70 pretty quickly. Alright, so 38 seems like the coasting speed. So that's good to know. Alright. Take advantage of our opportunity to move along a bit again. Looks like, well, now we got 55, so I guess we'll slow down again. So we really can't go much beyond 60, it seems. Alright, let's see how this goes. That'll probably get us there. Because at this point we should be sloughing off enough speed. There we go, 1/10 more and we're safe. So I think think we're good here. And this is just although we're through the curve on this end, so maybe it's just a noise ordinance or something that they want trains going slower through this space. So it must have nothing to do with the curve. We're just not seeing anything as far as the next opportunity to accelerate. Now here we do have another curve. And yeah, well, you can hear the kind of that squealing on the wheels a bit. So let's see, I think we said 38 is the maintenance level, where we speed up a bit. At this point we can certainly do that. Alright. Yeah, they almost look like they're moving, but yeah, I guess he is moving. So they're coming from somewhere. Let's see if we take a look here. Center on the player. Alright, so it's just a bit of a siding, but quite a few things down that way. So Bonner. So yeah, 3 pretty quick curves. But we'll see. So we really probably got a mile and a half before we can go 70 or over 55 again. A lot of junk there on the side of the track. So, getting close to the signal, at least. I don't think we'll be at 60 by the time we get there, or 55 by the time we get there. 60's in my head, because that's kind of been the speed that we've been traveling at. Alright, so let me drop down to 25. That will probably fall a bit. It certainly shouldn't be accelerating anymore. But before we know it, we're going to be at the milestone of 50 miles till the end of our run. I was almost wondering if we'd be at that before the train cleared, but we won't. Alright. See if we can at least maybe stay at 60. So, just about maxed out for the engine. 900 RPM seems to be it. Yeah, I haven't really paid attention to the gas meter. I'm just curious, this big of a train, this long, I'm guessing we're barely going to make a dent in the fuel, but could be wrong. Maybe we were entirely full when we took off, and in 15 miles we're down to where we're at, but don't know. Alright, so again, green light, but no changeover. Yeah, we're spread out a bit again, where they've got the ability to have more room for those switches. Got something else coming up here. Alright, so just a small siding. Assuming there's places, there's like a building or something here. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure why they'd have that. But yeah, it looks like there might be something there across the street. Yeah, a few places that look like they use some rail cars. Alright, and again, we're a little ways out here, needing a bit of a slowdown, so, but at least now it's just 60, so. Alright. Gotta get that moving again. I was a little too excited on the throttle. Alright, so looks like some cornfields off to the left. Everything is free and clear to continue on. So every 3 or 4 miles we're adjusting here. Like a few farms around, kind of further away from the road now, traveling in between the different fields. Alright, so we go down to 25. It seems to be that, yeah, we just don't take the turns at 70 on this line. But certainly a lot of meandering. But obviously you've got to go where the right-of-way is. So looks like a similar setup to ours. He's got 3 locomotives on the front. Not sure if he has one on the back, but therefore, he's probably hauling about the same weight as we are, although I would imagine you don't really drop the locomotives as you lose some things, but yep, there's a helper on the back. I think that's what they call them. Alright, so get ourselves up to 38, where we can slowly gain some speed. But this, at least, I feel, gives me a chance to just kind of let the throttle be, and I don't have to keep putting brakes on and other things that make it a lot more challenging on other runs. So it looks like we're climbing a little bit. Because, yeah, we're heading out west this way, so I think we're heading away from the Mississippi. But it seems like the line's pretty much at 60 at best. So there's only small places we've been able to go faster, and then we're almost immediately slowing down again. But yeah, I think a lot of the lines just through the Midwest space would be very similar to this. So I think just by the nature of any of these sims, it's just a bit more interesting to run in mountains, just because, you know, there's more happening. But obviously these are crucial to the actual functioning of the supply chain networks, as these vast stretches in the middle of the country that are just flat and long like this. And we've had little tiny changes like 0.3, 0.2%, but very, very low. Interesting. Oh, that must be a bridge. So maybe there's a culvert or something under there, or a road. Well, looks like a little bit of a river. So green, but don't switch. And I don't know if there's something coming the other way, because both of them were red there. We're getting up to a 70 spot, but we know how those have gone, so not thinking we're going to have a lot of opportunity to let our hair blow in the wind on this one, but we'll see. So just 2 locomotives on that one. Alright, get myself down to 25. Those tiny changes, the horsepower adjusts pretty quickly. Oh, but he's got 2 locomotives in the center, so he may be heavier than we are, because he might have 2 in the center and 2 at the back. Looks like we'll be seeing that soon. We'll see what we've got. There's definitely locomotives back here. Does look like 2. So I'm guessing he's got more heft than what I'm moving along with here. Alright. I think we can open it up. And then we'll be through the speed change. There we go. And we'll see how long we can accelerate. I don't think I've gotten above 65 before I've seen stuff that needs to get me down to 60. So signals facing the other way, because ours was just green. There's no switch in close proximity. Some water on the left. And we'll just, well, there we go, so we can kind of see what we're doing. So it looks like we're going to follow this around a little bit to the left. Maybe just run along this lake for a bit. Well, we're getting to the point. It's a milestone. Now the challenge is if I'm at 70 and I start seeing a 60, that I'm going to have to react to, I think, relatively quickly. Yeah, we're going by so quick on those. A lot of times I used to be able to like see the signal turn red as we went by, but not really catching that. It's another signal, but not a speed change, so finally getting a little bit of wind in our sails here. Yeah, every little bit helps, so. Whoop. There we go. So, I drop that, get myself down to maybe 62. Alright. Yeah, see, it's like I can't slow it down any further there. But yeah, this works out actually quite well. So, got it to kind of release at 61 so that I can go along there. Let's see, if I go to 25%, it should still let it drop a bit, but give it enough pull that it shouldn't then drop below too much or too quickly. So, looks like another turn related item, but not entirely clear. But they obviously have the speeds for a reason. Alright, so I'm trying to see, like, if there's anything that tells me, and there really isn't, that shows me that 60. So it's like if I didn't have this up, I don't know that I would know to change my speed, which seems odd, because obviously an engineer in the train doesn't have this, but I'm not seeing any signposts that I can identify. And there's nothing internally that's telling me that I suddenly need to be down to 60 or that I can go up to 70. Like, there's nothing on the side of the track here. But slowly moving along, getting down to 35 miles to Topeka. So 3491, I'm assuming, is just the mile marker. Alright, a little bit. Another opportunity to open her up. Go ahead and do that, because there's no way we're gonna be in any danger by the time we pass that. And, you know, if we can even get another 5 miles at a healthier clip, that's 5 more miles down the road. That one's a little deeper, a little bit of a culvert, or certainly not a canyon. It's not that large, but whoop. now we've got to be at 55, so that changes pretty quickly again. Alright. So I think we'll put it at 25, but yeah, this is definitely a sharp turn here. But we'll be through the turn again before, so it's interesting. Alright, but just a little bit here, and then we're back up to 70 again. For however long, because this was really only for about a mile. Let's see what it looks like here. Alright, so lots of sidings and stuff we're coming up onto. Kind of a yard for sure of some sort. But it looks like the main line, it's gonna let me through there at 70, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, we're not getting any indicator on the map of certain things, or, you know, or switch names or anything like that, or track names, I should say. Just speed up a bit. Again, with that slow acceleration. I'll probably have to back off a bit, but we'll see. Until I get to like 55.5, I'm not terribly concerned. And we're only at, I think we're, I don't know, I could push it a bit and just let it go, because it really shouldn't give me any kind of penalty until I'm at 56. So I'll be past 55.5, but I don't think I'm in any danger of getting to 56 before the end of that train comes by here. We'll be at 55.8, might even see 55.9, but ooh, whoa. Now that is a problem. We've got to be down to 40 here. Eesh. Alright. So we're okay. Goodness, I almost turned into a real humdinger. So this is probably more realistic, because the other yard we left, we were maxed out at 40. And I would say that probably makes more sense. Oh, we've got a big curve coming up here, so just swinging north entirely. So definitely need to slow down there, because the last thing anybody needs is... Am I speeding up still? I am. Interesting. Gotta be careful that I'm not going downhill or something, but normally 25 wouldn't have been enough. But I seem to have stabilized now. But yeah, that is a very sharp turn. Well, then we go that way for a ways. I'll worry about it later, although probably now I'm not moving with it anymore. There we go. But we've also got no indicator of being able to go quicker. But yeah, here at 25 we're speeding up, where before we were not. I'm wondering if, because that almost looks like an interstate or something pretty substantial overhead. I wonder if normally you don't go in high speed under those. Who knows? But we're below 30 now. And below 30, I mean below 30 miles to go. So yeah, I mean, it's over a 90-degree change in direction. There's some hills coming up, so maybe it's just the decision they made to avoid an area or something. Don't know. Is it cattle over there? No, it's just bushes, colored bushes. Can't really tell. It looked like a kind of a nicer road headed out that way, so. Alright, so a third of a mile till the front of the train gets to a point where we can accelerate a bit. Obviously we're immediately down to 60 again, and 3/4 of a mile beyond that, which is probably the length of the train. That'll be interesting. That'll be a way to measure how long we are here. So a little bit less than 3/4 of a mile. It's 0.74 miles for the length there. Increase this to 25. That'll probably start speeding us up a bit, but see how this almost seems crazy slow compared to what we've been doing for 25 miles or so. It's not a terribly long amount of time, but yeah, it takes a while to traverse this part of the line, obviously. So it's interesting because we'll be speeding up around another curve. How big is this curve? Not huge, but it'll get us moving west again a good ways, 45 degrees or so. All right. So interesting that it said 7. Oh, but we had already passed through the 60. I wasn't paying attention, so we're at least 3/4 of a mile long. So yeah, we never really got able to do 70. Alright, we'll get up to 60, assuming it allows us. Should get up there in, I don't know, we'll see. We're at about 27 miles when we started accelerating. See how long it takes. But I'm sure it'll be several miles. And that's assuming we don't have to slow down again, so we may never really figure it out, but yeah, I don't think we're going to have any danger of being at 60 before we... So at this point it's still 1.5 miles, let's say, but I think it's going to take us at least that long to get to 60. But We are starting to get some rolling hills, but obviously, you know, heading out west, we're getting closer to the Rockies with every inch, obviously, but with every mile is what I was gonna say. But looks like we're finally getting to the point where we're going faster than traffic, so maybe they're 50 or 55. Probably 50. We're going a good amount faster than they are, so. But yeah, might be at 58 would probably be the highest, I think, here. Another green signal, but no opportunity for switching. It's red over there. So yeah, didn't hit 58. But and now we can go 70, so we'll just stay on the accelerator. But just trying to see for our acceleration, since I missed the distance, but basically 2.25 miles to accelerate from 40 to 60. And just feeling like I'm at that point again where suddenly I'm going to see something tell me I can only go 60 or something even worse. Maybe not. Let's see, are we fully west? Not yet. I think he's moving, but maybe he's sitting. Nah, I'm pretty sure he's moving along. So yeah, we're not fully west, but we're significantly more west than we were. And I know when we looked at that last piece, like there's definitely, we'll be heading like southwest and then have to almost do a U-turn and then go back northwest. Yeah, you just don't really, this helps definitely give a feel for how long this is, and they've got to go hundreds and hundreds of miles crossing the center of the US. We're just doing a 60-mile stretch here. Just gotta not get complacent and miss the speed coming in, because that's usually how I've messed up scenarios like this before. But we'll see. We're getting up here. Don't know that I know exactly how fast I was going. I know I didn't have to throttle down, so I hadn't gotten quite near enough to 70 for that yet. But might happen this time. Certainly once I'm in the 69 range, I'm gonna want to be careful. Looks like we've got a 0.2% grade, but I can't tell. Now we're going up. Now I see it's 10 or so cars back. It's popping up. Maybe just enough that we're going to have a hard time now. We went from 68.8 to 68.9, so we are still accelerating. It looks like it's flattening out up here. Maybe it was just an optical illusion. Nope, there we go. Now I think we're doing 0.02 downhill, so I better Better be careful. Alright, well, we are still slowing down at 38. So it's just interesting how that works, because before 38 was moving me along and speeding me up a bit, but now I'm still slowing down, and I am flat at this point. Just, I think if I go to 50, that's gonna definitely start to go up. We are now below 20 miles. Well, I said 50 would go up, but we dropped to 67.9, so maybe it won't. Alright. So, slight bend coming up, and then looks like a siding for somebody again. But definitely moving along, and just interesting. Now I've got to be at 63%. Let's see. Now that looks like that might be accelerating a bit. But it's just a bit. But the nice thing is we've had a nice run here. Because I was at... Okay, those cars are crossing. Those are pretty brave cars. Maybe they hope they just go through the train here, because if they did that, I don't want to be responsible for a crash. But yeah, that'd be pretty nerve-wracking in a real train. Like, someone else coming that I is going to try to, you know, cross before I get there? That was crazy. But no, we started accelerating at 27 from 40 and then got up to speed, so, I mean, we're 10 miles down the road from that. So at least, you know, it seems like we're moving along. I mean, we're certainly doing a pretty good pace here, that's for certain. So we got the road bridge along with the train bridge very close to each other. So we're kind of following that. Nice sounds over the bridge there. I think that's a train light. Another possible switchover, but nothing doing. And as far away as we are, I would imagine, yeah, I think it is a light, but it's probably just sitting there again. Now, I've had longer scenarios that were like 2 hours, but I think there was more occurring. I mean, this is just really kind of monitoring, making sure that I slow down at the right times and so forth. So yeah, it's just a really small siding there. Not going to do much with that. Alright, so now we're going to start continuing to turn and then start heading back south a little bit. But yeah, we've got like a little country road next to us. It looks at best a little 2-lane road. Yeah, but we're at 63% and very, very, very slowly speeding up. Looks like we have the moon up there again, kind of near the wipers. Yeah, because now that we're turning, it's drifting away from there. We had another scenario where it was pretty big, I think. But, I mean, at this point, it's 1:39 in the afternoon, though. It just seems really unlikely. But that's what they've put in the sky here. So I'm thinking we're going down the south end. You know, where we're heading slightly south. But yeah, this is a good long stretch of some upper end speed, so I like it. Yeah, those clearly aren't miles, because like the last one was like 479 or something. I mean, we obviously haven't gone 100 miles. So I'm not sure what those indicate. Doo-doo-doot. Alright, another signal coming up. Looks like I thought we were getting towards some bigger hills, but now in front of us it's much flatter than it was. Although I guess it just kind of rendered in a bit of terrain, but still not seeing anything substantial. So yeah, at this point, if we've used some fuel, it's a very, very little amount since I mentioned the fuel before, so. Alright, through another signal. Just again, trying not to get in the trance that things are just going along, but that's kind of where I'm at in my, it's just like, you've got the same tone of the engine in your ears and not having to adjust anything. Alright, so let's see. So we go back around. I don't... What's P? Guess we'll find out. Or... well, we may or may not find out, but it's something on the map. But I don't know that it's a physical anything. Alright, well, we're coming up on it. Whatever it is. It's not this bridge, it's further than that. Is it the pinch point here where it kind of comes back together? It's just indicating that. No. Or, no, there's not a road there either. Or is there? So I'm thinking maybe that's like County Road P or something? I don't know. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, we're below 10 miles and all that. Didn't even notice. So now this is almost like any other scenario now. I've definitely had 10-mile runs before. But this is tacked on onto another 50 that we've just finished, so. And still no sign of having to slow down. I'm liking it. So we're getting a good quick run here into Topeka, but we have been pegged at 68.4 for miles and miles, which is great. That's what I'm always like trying to find, is like, where can I just set the throttle and it'll maintain speed, but this is the first time I've ever achieved that for any length of time. Alright, so slightly turning back again, because again, when I looked and showed the task, we saw it's like a V at the end of the line, so we know that's coming up. But obviously we can't see that yet. And I'm not sure, like, on this here, like, if that's our visual horizon is what that's showing us. I don't know. More radio traffic. I don't know if that's just happened to be a time for it to go off, or as we're getting closer to a large city, we're suddenly hearing something. Not sure. Kind of getting more chatter, because obviously there'd be more happening nearby. But looks like just after 2 o'clock we'll be there. It's still telling me 20 minutes, so obviously we're gonna slow down somewhere and go very, very slow for a while, because otherwise at this speed we'd be there in barely over 5. So I'm thinking our quick move may be coming to an end soon. Not in the next mile though, so getting close to 5. But as we get closer to cities, also more bridges, more roads. Because, you know, 6 miles from what is probably close to Topeka proper, I think there'd be a lot more people living in the area. Alright, another fellow train coming by the other way. 2 locomotives again. Just again keeping an eye on my map, because I'm anticipating soon. I would be surprised if we get within 3 miles and haven't had to slow down, so maybe we get another 2.5, but oh, there we go. Already seeing it. We'll be closer than 5, but again, 60's not bad, so certainly not going to be upset about that. Increase this a bit. Otherwise, we probably won't have slowed down enough. There we go. I wonder if that's a 30 again, though. See, that's just bad, because I can't tell. And if it's not 30, I'm going to have slowed down a long way for nothing. But if it is, I'm going to be really upset, because it might be a 50, but just don't know what to do. Well, it is yellow, so alright, well, at this point I didn't mean to get quite that slow, but I did, so I guess we'll assume it's at least 30. I think that's safe. But yeah, this at least starts to explain why. So we can be on those tracks at some point. So someone may have written a scenario, used those, who knows. Let's see. At 38 here, 38's too much. 25 is too much. Is 13 too much? So now let's see, what is this? Because if it's slower, it's nothing. It's still 60. Great. Alright, we'll see what the next one is. Because yeah, if it was slower, it should do it right away. It's not because we're sticking out into the 60. Okay, well it's 30 over there, so we know we can't go beyond that in a mile. But, you know, we're 3.5 miles out, so... yeah, it's still 60. Now this tells me 70. Ay, ay, ay. I don't want to go too fast, but a little bit more might not hurt things too much. Just close some of this space a bit. And it could just be that we're changing to the nearby track, but don't know. I mean, but we could also be entering the Topeka yard. And it's, you know, a 3-mile wide yard, which certainly wouldn't be unheard of. Alright. Well, even 13 is too much at 30, so... yep, and then we gotta be 15 there, so... high-speed travel is over for the last 3 or so miles. Now it's just a matter of, can we stay within 1404 to finish this up, or... in my desire to try to do that, am I gonna have a problem? So the middle one is green, it looks like. So I'm assuming... no. See? Now that's unfair. Because I'm not at 15. That's just not good. So that was not a fault of mine. I was doing so well. But yeah, like redoing this scenario just for points, but I'm not gonna get any kind of award for 498, that's for sure. Yeah, but that's like set wrong. Another one of those fun indicators, I guess, huh? Yeah, so this is the V shape we knew we had. But yeah, I mean, in theory, I should still be able to be going 30. It's just really disappointing. Because I was following the signage that I was given. And the signage I was given was clearly in error. So, I was gonna say, lots of cars going by, but we're only going 15, so that makes sense, because otherwise they'd all be waiting for no real reason. Now, soon they should be stopped, but I guess we'll find out. Alright. Again, none of these signals that I can interact with. So I'm thinking I just go straight, which is why the top one is green. Because this is where it should have finally told me 15. Oh, okay. But under 2 miles. I'm guessing that's the siding we need to be on. But because I'm so long, it's another mile or so past that. But the end is in sight. I really should have had a perfect score. So, those are frustrating when just a mess in the map causes that. I'm assuming? No, we are going that way. Okay. Oh, no, we're not. I guess it just seemed like we were turning, but we're not. But yeah, I'm just not sure. I guess I should look and make sure that I'm set appropriately. Oh, that's not us. Yep, siding 01 is just right off, so. Because it didn't tell us to check any switches or anything, so I'm assuming whoever in the yard here has handled it. But that can cost me more points if I just assume things. So we're going to center on the player here. And still a good ways to go. I'd be in a much better mood if I hadn't lost those points. And even if, you know, if I had lost them because of an error on my part, I'd be disappointed, but I'm angry. I'm upset. Not like angry, I'm not screaming and fuming, but after 80 minutes or whatever, 75 minutes, that's a pretty nasty blow to hand someone at the end of that. Where all the signaling up till then had been accurate. Wow, that is a length of silo. So I think that line by the electric poles is where we're going to head down. Well, start to go down. We're just again moving over one space there, so we're not going down any distance. We're just literally moving one track over. Doesn't tell me it's 10. I'm going to assume because this is a yard that it is still going to be 15. Could be wrong, I guess, but that would again be just irritating. Interesting. So maybe we're already on siding 1. I mean, we must be, because we're driving on it. So, alright, so we're not even moving over. And now it's just a matter of getting the train on here, and then we'll be good. I probably won't even get a silver star on this. Heck, I might not even get a bronze. I'm lost over 50%. So, just a matter of crawling in. But this is a big empty yard on this end compared to what we left. I'm not even halfway with the train on where I need to be here. Right about halfway there now. Is there a turn, actually? It's hard to tell. No, it's just an optical illusion. I think those are turning away a bit. Well, no, they're not. Interesting. There is a turn. Because now we can see it, but we were just zoomed in enough that we couldn't. So just slightly around the turn there, and that'll be it. Why not? I just need a few more penalties, because what would it be without that, right? But yeah, we just need to stop on the siding here. So I'm gonna start slowing down, and I think I'm good. There we go. So we'll see what it turns into. But sadly, because yeah, I certainly would have been more careful with the last piece if I had been up there, but that's it for this part of the journey. We've actually arrived ahead of schedule, so let's have a little break. Yeah, so I don't think we got anything, but so anyway, there we go. So I will see you next time.